Howdy.
Hello. We've got so many. We're going to forgo the long music and the pounding and get right to it.
How many do we have?
80 today.
Wow.
And I finally got through all of my nail and coffin emails, or at least the ones that say nail and coffin in the subject line. So,
without any further ado, let's get on with the name calling.
We've got a family of 4 in a teal color, and we're sorry we ran out of the official teal color, so you're kind of a clear teal.
This clear blue right here.
Deborah, Rachel, Alicia, Victoria, and then we've got 5 that are light blue.
Right here.
This is an elder and his pioneer wife and their family. This
Excellent.
is for MJ, DJ, PJ, RJ, LJ.
Excellent.
And then we've got a family of 5 in yellow.
Right here between the RIP, these 5 yellow. Name them off.
This is for Marcus, Katya, Matthew, Julia, and Elsa.
Cool.
Okay, then we're going to go down to the orange.
Oh,
and
that's
the reason
right.
we did them orange is because they're kind of near the hall area.
Oh, you mean to tell me that aggressive activism is waking people up in the hall area? I mean, not in hall, but the surrounding area? Wow. Keep up the aggressive activism, guys. It's working.
Awesome. This is for Julian, his 17-year-old son, his 13-year-old son.
Try to get it all on the camera here.
His mother, Sheila, Colin, Jackie, Margaret, Pete, Dave, and Maureen.
Down here, man.
Awesome.
These 11 pins right here.
I had 4 pages on my list of names this time. Okay, then we've got Fuchsia up by the R.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, this should be a family of 7.
Yep. They're all kind of crowded together, guys.
This coffin list's getting kind of crowded.
Yes.
That's why Mike's going to be making a bigger one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Melinda, her daughter, JH, MH, ZH, SH, and CH.
Cool.
And then we've got purple up by the R.
These 3, right?
Okay, this is for M, L, and their 2-year-old daughter.
Cool.
Okay, and then we've got bright green by the I.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Okay, this is for friends and family. This is for Liz, N, J, A, and S.
Cool.
Okay, and then we have clear on the top of the jw.org.
Right across here, friends.
Okay, this is for family. We're going to be reading their story. This is a good one.
Keep the families coming out, guys.
Yeah. Nick, Patricia, Alex, Andrew, Justin, Jessica, and Jeanette.
Oh, this is great.
Okay, and then we have red to the left of jw.org.
Right here. Okay.
Okay, this is for SR.
SR.
PP. LR. PAP, their father. SP, their mom. GP, her brother. VP, her sister. FP, her uncle. Okay, then we've got clear purple.
Clear purple. Let's see, where did I put the clear purple? Oh, right here. They're getting crowded, guys.
Need your glasses.
2 of them, right?
Yes, this should be for Norbert and his mom, Ruth.
Right there. Excellent.
Okay, and then we've got a bunch of singles also.
Okay, and these are going to be
in the
these
R.
white and this blue in the R right here.
Okay, so we have Josephine, Leslie, TM, Duke, April, and we want to tell April we're sorry for her loss. She lost her father and she was really upset. Because her father always said because they were going to live forever in paradise that he would never leave her. So Watchtower lied to them.
Yep.
You know the never die?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, then we have Esther, Curtis, IB, Nama, Susan, Josh. And Josh, I tried to email you and your email bounced back to me, so it's not that I didn't try to answer you. Okay, and Lee is the blue in the middle of the R.
Right there. Okay, cool.
So, and then we got some old timers.
Wow. And some old timers. All right, here we go.
This is for Tabitha, Brandon, and then a family, Tim, Carrie, Kyle, Michael, Eric, and Carrie K. Okay, and then we have Tylene, I believe this is pronounced, and 2 kids.
For the 2 kids. There we go.
Yeah, so altogether 80. My goodness.
Guys, welcome to your freedom.
Yes.
Man, doesn't freedom sound beautiful? My goodness.
Exactly.
I mean, speechless. Just absolutely speechless.
So thank you everyone for contacting us, and I'm sorry if we have missed you or I missed your email. Like I said, I have to search all my emails. I just put in the search nail and coffin, so if it wasn't in your email, sorry we missed you. I will eventually get to it.
Yes.
And anybody who wants to be on this, go to watchtower.expose and click on contact and send us a private message.
Yes. And just real quick, because this is a in-your-face moment from Watchtower. From when Kim and I started our very first coffin lid, I don't know if you guys can kind of see the one that doesn't have near as many pins in it, and then the second one right there. Somebody asked us for the total numbers between those 2 coffin lids from when we first started to the following year. We gave that person the number. He did the math.
Well, I was going to say, let's just tell them, on the first list we had 247 name or pins, and on the second one we have 472.
And that's an increase of 191%. That's a Watchtower. You gotta be feeling the hurt, dudes. You gotta be feeling the hurt.
So thank you, John. And at the end of December, remind me, and I'll give you the number for this coffin.
Imagine what this is gonna be.
Wow.
Now keep in mind, that does not include the old timers, or does it?
Does not include the old timers.
Does not include the old.
That is only the ones that have contacted us and left since 2014 when we started this. So.
Excellent, excellent. Welcome to your freedom. If there's anything Kim and I can do, we're more than happy to extend ourselves, but you have to keep in mind how busy we are with all of this, because we've got a lot going on. A lot of you sending us your judicial hearings that we're trying to get through.
I'm getting behind on editing the judicial hearings.
Yeah, so please, we're begging for your patience.
Yes, but thank you everyone for sending this stuff to us. It is so much appreciated. And more Kingdom Hall and congregation closings.
Oh, this is gonna hurt, Watchtower.
Yeah.
This is really gonna hurt.
Okay. Many Kingdom Halls in Brazil are going up for sale.
Brazil even. Wow. Yep. Watchtower, you're really feeling the global pinch, aren't you?
Yes.
This good news of the kingdom is going to be preached from corner to corner, the entire globe. Yeah, from the corner to corner, entire globe, you guys are doing this. So, and you can't stop it.
I got a lot to read here.
I know.
So, let me get to it here. Okay, so Sarah and her son, who were on the coffin lid from like a month or 2 ago, if not a little bit longer, sent me this. She says, just sending you a notice of a text sent to me today for some reason from an elder in our old congregation in Southport, UK. I must be on his mailing list or something. It says that by direct notice of the circuit, that a new field service group is to start from next week that he's been instructed to lead. They are consolidating groups, and if anyone has an issue, to contact him directly. So Mike and I were reading this, and it's like, what the heck is going on? Are they just the service groups in the Kingdom Halls getting so small that they have to organize them from the circuit level now?
Well, that would kind of make sense, because as much as Watchtower shrinking, just think about 10 years ago when I was a Jehovah's Witness in regular pioneering. I could go on a Tuesday and there might be 10 or 12. Wednesday would be the biggest day of the week. You might get 15, you know, increased by 3. But Thursday, you're lucky if you had 4 go out. Well, with the number of people that are leaving the organization right now, I can see...
There's nobody on Thursday.
There's nobody on Thursday. There's probably 2 people on Wednesday. Nobody on Monday. So I can see where Watchtower has to combine your days of service and meet in one central location in the circuit. I mean, I'm only speculating here based on this email, but why would you want to consolidate your field service group and have one location to meet, other than you must be so small right now, Watchtower, that this is the only way you can make your organization look like you're growing by leaps and bounds.
Well, I was thinking about our old circuit in Arizona, and that was a very large circuit. My goodness, it takes the entire central Arizona.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm thinking all of them getting together and consolidating a group for that, that's a lot of territory.
And they're going to get tired out real quick.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get tired out real quick doing this.
Okay, say thank you, Jason, for sending this to me. This is about a Kingdom Hall in, it looks like Hastings, Minnesota, that went up for sale. And he says, no mention of the mold issue or structural issues in the listing, like I was told why it can't be used anymore.
Wow.
So being concerned, I sent an email to the real estate person and asked them, I said, I am interested in this property, but the elders told all of the members of this congregation that there was a mold or structural problem, and that's why the building was being sold. So I'm concerned, is this a problem? So I'm anxious to see what he's going to say.
Oh, Watchtower, you really don't want to do this.
So thank you, Jason. Okay, this is from Jeffrey. Now, we had mentioned the Dover, Tennessee congregation. And I know you got all excited when you heard me say Dover because you thought it was New Hampshire.
Dover, New Hampshire, yeah.
So Jeffrey gave us an update. He said, this congregation has been dissolved for about 2.5 years now. Their publisher count was low before the Dover, Tennessee congregation was dissolved into the Paris, Tennessee congregation. The Dover, Tennessee congregation preached for years and years in Dover, Tennessee, and did not have anyone baptized for more than 10 years.
Holy cow! That's huge! That's huge! In 10 years! My goodness! My goodness, people are just waking up to what's going on in Watchtower.
The people in Dover, Tennessee weren't responding and coming in. If I was Watchtower, I would have closed this Kingdom Hall too.
Yeah, really. You need to move on to greener pastures, Watchtower.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, where are you going to find them? You can't go to Brazil because, you know, we're doing nails in the coffin for people in Brazil now. My goodness.
Okay. So someone sent me this, and they says, I live in northern Minnesota, a town named, I'm going to slaughter this one, Biwabik? I've been born into the faith 64 years now. Anyway, I don't agree with a lot of things the society says or does. The hall 5 miles from me in Aurora closed a few weeks ago, and one in Cook, Minnesota also. So now these people have to drive many miles to get to a jam-packed hall. What's the point, especially in inclement weather? It just disrupts things and makes it harder for everyone, and they follow like sheep. Thanks for bringing this out. I'm inactive. I do have phone hookup. And so thank you so much. And we appreciate everybody giving us these updates, you know, because we try to be as accurate as we can.
Yes.
You know, in fact, you know, there's one here about that Clinton Township.
Hey,
I guess that one's been out of commission for a while.
Hey, Watchtower, really, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you.
Oh, I'm sure they don't find it very funny.
Welcome to my shock and mock, right?
That's aggressive mockery.
I'm sorry, but you guys have really got to see the humor in all of this. You know, when you hear these circuit overseers say, well, you know, we're gonna combine the circuits because we're growing by leaps and bounds.
That's aggressive mockery.
I'm sorry, aggressive mockery. Hey, call it what it is. I really don't care. I'm just, these nails in the coffins and all of the emails that you guys are sending us are just super fantastic.
Yes.
They are. All right, I'm going to try to contain myself while my lovely wife continues on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
okay, so the Clinton Township in Michigan, someone contacted us and said that, yes, it has been a while since that one had closed. And I'm not going to say how this person knows, but let's just say they know. I still have a few contacts over in Mount Clemens Hall, so maybe one of them could shed some light on it. And we're talking about the Clinton Township. I seen it was up for sale on LoopNet. The whole story behind the hall is absolutely crazy. It was to be sold years ago, and a double was going in its place, but then the LDC took over, robbed all the money, which was close to $750,000, and then later on said that no new hall was going up. I knew a few people who took out personal loans of over $10,000 for that new hall.
Holy
Crazy.
crap. It's a den of thieves and a den of... Now let me
you guys wonder why elders are waking up.
So let me get this straight. These people in this part in Minnesota, Michigan, collectively come up with $750,000 to build a Kingdom Hall twice the size of what they would normally build, right?
A double?
Yeah, twice the size of what they would normally build. And then Watchtower pretty much said, screw you, but thanks for the $750,000.
Some of them took out personal loans of over $10,000 for that new hall. And then the LDC, which is the design, the new regional building committee,
a den of thieves,
and took the money. So what about those poor brothers and sisters now? They're having to pay these personal loans, and you get no Kingdom Hall.
Well, this is...
Oh, I would be livid.
This is what happens when you're in a cult and you do not discern the spirit that is behind the name Jehovah. I'm going to be doing a video on that sometime in the future.
Now, I did get another email from the Hull area in the UK. We know all that's been going on there. And it says, well, another one of the same congregation who took the emblems about 3 years ago has now been disfellowshipped for apostasy. He is one of the strong spiritual ones, you could say, who was a good support to people in the congregation. Thank you so much for putting the recordings out there. I haven't heard anything yet about them disfellowshipping me yet. Neither has Adrian, who did the newspaper article. We are looking forward for November 5th, and please give our love to all those who are making that possible for the protest.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much. We're going to get some leaflets done ourselves and spread them all over Hull and beyond around that time too. This purge has made us stronger and more determined to do as much damage as we can to Watchtower.
Love it.
And then they talk about Witness No More has got such ones who want to leave getting in touch with him, and we're trying to have some kind of support for such ones.
Oh, that's exciting
You
news.
both, along with the love of our Lord Jesus, has given hope and support for helping victims of a terrible cult. Keep you informed about what's going on. So thank you, dear brothers and sisters. We send our love and support over across the pond and to all of you in the Hull area. And if you need anything, you know, we will do our best to help you.
And just remember, things will continue to get better as you explore the boundaries, or maybe no boundaries, of freedom. Trust me, freedom is great.
Yeah. Thank you, Sharon, for this one. Just received this message from my future mother-in-law. Attended the very last meeting yesterday to be held at the Charles City, Iowa Kingdom Hall that Joshua grew up in. So many have moved away or have died, so the society decided to dissolve it. The witnesses there are to go to either New Hampton, Mason City, or Austin, Minnesota congregations. The society will sell the property and use the money to build more Kingdom Halls, especially in places like Africa.
You guys are buying into that after we just acknowledged or showed that they just stole $750,000. You really believe they're going to build a Kingdom Hall in Africa? Duh, get real.
The picture she sent along with that message, however, doesn't look like that Kingdom Hall is empty enough to warrant closing. I think I count about 72 seats. 75 if you count the 3 extra fold-out seats that were used as the last row on one side, and over 45 attendees. And I'm not even sure I managed to count that correctly, as I'm sure some of the kids' heads didn't show due to other people blocking the view from the angle of the pics. But still, that's almost half.
Yeah.
That's almost half.
Yep. Wow.
Okay. Hi, Mike and Ken. Thanks for all your hard work. You are helping so many people free themselves from such an oppressive cult. I have sent you an email about a month ago with my family story and some Masonic traces we have come to find out. I know you are behind with the email, so I'm sending one now for the nail and coffin.
Cool.
And that was the SR and PP.
Yeah, cool.
And wanted to let you know that in Uruguay, where we are from, Kingdom Halls are closing and merging as well. And we just found out that the main Kingdom Hall from the 70s, which was the Bethel of the time, is being sold because it is in a great location, big money.
Oh, yeah, real estate. Prime real estate. Exactly. You guys see the game that we've all been involved with?
The Bethel that was built later and is in the 2000 yearbook was put on sale less than 10 years later. They haven't sold it yet, so it's been more than 7 years that brothers and sisters from all over, even far destinations, go to mow the lawn and clean the place. So it was built with free labor and many donations. It actually bothered many that this project was so short-lived, because Argentina took Uruguay's Bethel over, and now Brazil is expected to take all of South America.
Wow.
So they're consolidating Bethels even in South America. This is great.
Yes, it is.
The thing is, a lot was put into even getting the land for the Bethel and Convention Hall, and when it was all accomplished, it was only good for about 10 years. They still use the Convention Hall. Your Masonic videos were great, awesome insight into what we were involved in, so thanks again. Much love from all my family towards yours, and we send our love and hugs to all of you.
We've actually got quite a bit to read.
I've got a lot of stories, so if you bear with us, there's some great ones here.
And yeah, you might even want to pause your this video right here and maybe go get a glass of water, a cup of tea.
Take a break.
Maybe, I don't know, a shot of rum or something. These are going to be a little lengthy.
Hi, Mike and Kim. Could you please put our family's nail in the coffin? There are seven of us, and this is from the Patricia and, you know, all of that. We did their family. About 6 months ago, our oldest son, Alex, 19 years old, said he needed to talk to us because there were some things that were bothering him that he needed to get off his chest. The very first thing he did was ask me the following question. Dad, you've always told me to do my research and prove the truth to myself, right? I said to him, absolutely. Mom and I can't do that for you. Only you can do that. Be careful how you answer.
Exactly.
He then asked us, do you and Mom truly believe deep down in your heart that's all I ever wanted to know is truth, whether it be historical, scriptural, or personal truth? Doesn't the Bible say that Satan is the father of the lie? Would you want me to live a lie? My wife and I both told him of course not, and asked him what's going on. Why are you asking us this? Alex then laid it all out and shared with us the many things that he had discovered. Everything from the origins of the New World Translation, the connections it had to the occult, to the Watchtower's involvement with the UN, shunning being of pagan origin, the misapplication of Watchtower's blood policy, the Watchtower problem with covering over child molestation. He went on and on and on. I have actually met people in the field who refused to talk to me because they told me, as Jehovah's Witnesses, that way too many pedophiles, and I thought it was just a lie. But for my wife and I to hear it come from our own son really stopped us in our tracks, because we know he's not the kind of person to just make this stuff up. He was always highly respected at school, always got good grades, etc. He told us if we truly loved him and cared about him, as we've always told him that we do, to please understand where he's coming from when he says that he simply can't have anything to do with any cult. He actually used the word cult with us.
Oh, so you mean the word cult didn't scare them off, did it?
Yep.
Wonderful.
That keeps its members in the dark and threatens them into silence when they apply what the Bible says at Ephesians 5:10 through 13. And that for elders who disfellowship and label people as apostates for applying Paul's words at Ephesians are actually fulfilling Jesus' words at John 16:2 and John 9:22. He asks us to bear in mind that Jesus himself was labeled as an apostate by the Pharisees.
Yep.
Smart kid.
Yes.
He then asked us, what are you going to do? My wife and I told him for the sake of his conscience that we would research what he said. Truth should stand up to lies.
Yep.
Oh boy. And I told him in the meantime that he needs to go ahead and let the elders know how he feels, if he truly feels this way. He asked us, why should I? What do you mean? I asked him. He then showed us the elders' manual that says they can allow an appointed brother in the congregation who admits to committing a sin in the past without confessing it to serve without so much as touching him. Why should I talk to them about anything? Where in the world did you get that manual, I asked. He said anyone can get it. It's available online all over the place. He said, and that he could get virtually anything he wants. Elders' letters, etc.
That's true.
Now, and for those of you who are new, to watching YouTube videos and newly out, if you go to the Australian Royal Commission, Study 29, and click on Evidence Exhibits list, the Elders Manual is in there. So the Australian government put it in their evidence lists for the Royal Commission hearings. He then asked his mom what she thinks about elders who discover a husband who commits adultery and lied about the extent of the adultery to his wife and knowingly withhold that information from her. My wife and I were absolutely stunned. Our 19-year-old son knew more about this than I did, and I've been baptized for 25 years. I asked him how long he's been feeling like this, and he said about a year or so. I asked how come he didn't come to me sooner with any of this, and he said because he wanted to make sure what he learned was true and that he was afraid that we would kick him out of the house. We told him he hasn't done anything wrong other than honest research and that we would go ahead and do the same. My wife and I are stunned at what we have discovered. I can't believe it. How could we be so blind? My son simply said, Mom and Dad, welcome to the age of the internet. It is impossible for people to keep secrets now like it was when you were growing up.
Yep.
And the next phrase is in all capital bold letters. What a wonderful son. My son said he was going to leave the organization and turned his letter into the elders. And the rest of us told him we would let him know what we would do. The elders announced 3 weeks ago that our son is no longer a witness, and everyone just assumed he committed an act of immorality or something. I have a few family who are baptized, and they started to shun him immediately. I let some of our fleshly relatives know what was going on, not only because Patricia, myself, and the rest of the kids decided we were leaving Watchtower, but also because Witness family who was shunning Alex was also associating with worldly family and received help from them on multiple occasions. Just a few days ago, I got a call from one of my worldly brothers who said all of the extended family called family who were witnesses and informed them that they would in turn completely cut off the witness relatives who were shunning Alex. I love their family. My worldly brother said they told the witness family to apply the golden rule and treat others the way you want to be treated. You want to cut Alex off? Fine, then we will cut you off. I won't repeat the profanity that my brother used on the phone, LOL. But to extended family was furious because of the help they had given to them and then to turn around and do this to Alex. No way. When my brother, who's a witness, tried to explain to extended family why they were shunning Alex, our extended family told them, go piss on yourself.
Oh, don't you guys just love freedom?
It's not like Alex was doing drugs, coming home drunk, etc. That would be a different story. All he did was honest research, and it woke up the rest of us. We started watching Jason Zelda's videos recently. We were speechless about the child kidnapping and the elders who will lie like that. Unbelievable. Had no idea that kind of thing was happening. When I told the elders why we as a family also decided to leave, we asked them, if we met someone in the ministry who was a part of the Baptist church, Catholic church, etc., and discovered things that the church was involved with, what would we say to that person? Wouldn't we tell them to get out of her? Revelation 18:4. Why is it that we have no problems exposing things in other religions and refuse to acknowledge the hypocrisy in our own religion? Is that a double set of standards? One of the elders said Jehovah will take care of it, and I asked him, is that what Phineas would do? Is that what Jesus said when he threw the people out of the temple? Did they just sit there and say Jehovah will take care of it? Our meeting with the elders lasted about an hour. They had started to pressure my wife and I to kick Alex out of the house. When I asked them what Alex had done wrong, they told me he had slandered God's organization.
Wow, telling the truth now becomes slander, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you guys see what is bad is called good and what is good is called bad? These guys are fulfilling Bible prophecy like nobody's business. My goodness.
We told them in the meeting, Alex is not the one who conceals child molestation from the friends, that Alex is not the one who was a member of the UN, that Alex was not the one who was a member of the occult that Watchtower is, and as long as you're a part of Watchtower, you're a part of it too. I told the elder presiding over the meeting that I'm a 45-year-old man and no one is going to coerce me and blackmail me when it comes to the bond that I have with my family.
Good for you. And
Awesome.
This is what we all need to hear, is these people standing up and saying, you are not going to let me shun my children. Screw you guys.
Yeah. I was the one who have worked with my own blood and sweat over all these years to raise our son. Were you in the delivery room with my wife and I when Alex came into this world? No man, and I mean no man, is going to put me in a corner. I told the head elder word for word, so shut your mouth and stick your finger up where the sun won't shine.
I think a lot more elders need to hear that.
I think our family would get along with this family.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was the last thing we ever said to them, and as a family we walked out of that meeting with our heads held high and a peace of mind that we've never known before. Our family bond is strong and we will not allow anyone to tear it apart. Do you hear that, Watchtower? These families are saying, no, we're not going to tear our family apart because of your stupid policies.
So go ahead, you 7 idiots in Warwick. Continue to double down on the shunning policy. Continue to double down on it, on everything, because all you're doing is you're getting your own members to see who and what you guys truly are. This is living proof right here.
I love this next part. We found out a few days ago that the youngest 2 of our kids were having doubts and described Caleb and Sophia as creepy.
I rest my case, governing idiots.
They felt many of the JW broadcast videos were fake and didn't feel very genuine or real.
Well, hey, you're not the only ones that feel that. Just go back and watch our channel and watch how much we mock these knuckleheads.
We started watching former members' videos on YouTube, and we may start a channel of our own too, but we're not sure if we would make that much of a difference. There's already so many brothers and sisters putting up videos. What good would we do? Thank you for taking the time to read this. Brotherly love and hugs to you both. We send our love and hugs back. And as far as doing your own YouTube channel, hey, everybody has a unique voice.
Do it.
Everybody needs to get, the more the merrier. If it's just a couple of voices on YouTube saying these things, but when thousands and thousands are on YouTube giving their testimonies, that is overwhelming evidence.
Yeah.
You know what they say, at the mouth of 2 or more witnesses.
And now we've got thousands of witnesses telling the world, stay away from Jehovah's Witnesses because they are a destructive cult. And you families, every one of us is living proof. So get out and do a YouTube channel. You don't have to do hundreds of videos like Kim and I have done. Just get out there and tell your story. Let the world, let your neighbors know what it's like living in a cult that is so destructive as the Watchtown Bible Tract Society is. And if you need help with that, contact us and we'll give you a hand.
Okay. Now, unfortunately, I can't read. I've got about 3 pages here from the mom and daughter, Deborah and Alicia, that we just put on the coffin lid. So I'm just going to read some highlights. Horrible abuse in their family. So the mom, Deborah, gives us the names. You will have 4 pens and gives us the name. She says also the Cleveland, Georgia, and Toccoa Georgia congregations have closed. Thank you again for giving me the keys to my handcuffs. So thank you so much. And, you know, my goodness, I read these stories and I was just crying. But her daughter Alicia, you know, who was abused, and they asked, you know, for only their first names to be used, and because of the grandparents and other family members, which we understand. I'm also asking for prayers for their eyes to be open and see that this is a satanic cult, the Angel of Light, who spreads lies. I honestly have disturbing conversations, even with elders. These men are sick. Yep. When my mother, sisters, and I were going to the Kingdom Hall, my sisters and I signed up to be unbaptized publishers. The elders met with us, my sisters and I, when we went over their questions, and one particular question was very disturbing. They asked if we were virgins. What kind of question, inappropriate question, when you're just being an unbaptized publisher?
I don't think that that's in the book of questions. I mean, my goodness.
Well, wow. I mean, that's not in the organization book.
So
what kind of perverts have you got? Watchtower, do you see what kind of perverts you've got running these congregations?
Well, here, what this does is this just setting Watchtower up for more lawsuits in the future for allegations of child abuse. And you 7 men are so flipping stupid that you think Jehovah's still blessing you guys. You're going to just run the ship like this, you know, like it's not sinking. My goodness. This organization hit this iceberg a long time ago, and you guys are going down faster than ever before. But see, they want to stay with this sinking ship because this is how stupid they are.
Yeah. She said, keep in mind, these men were 3 times our age. I was 17 at the time and very embarrassed. I felt awkward, and I even felt as if these men were undressing me with their eyes.
They probably were.
I felt sick at my stomach. I thought, for this to be the true faith, what does my virginity have to do with me serving Jehovah? Videos, I've learned a lot. I've seen a lot in the Kingdom Halls, especially with the sick pedophilia men who roam around unsupervised. My mother sent you an email about a lesbian who is in our Kingdom Hall. We did not know this, and the elders asked if she can live with us, and doing the Christian thing, we did. She attacked me with a knife, brutally beat me up, and tried to rape me. I fought her off, and my baby sister was there and called my mother, who was at Walmart. She got home in 3 minutes. My mother called the elder's wife and told her to come and get this perverted girl out of our home. That's when we found out that they knew she was a lesbian. We later found out the elder's wife was having an affair with this girl. This elder's wife had been studying with her since she was age 15, and the girl admitted to the elders meeting that she had been messed with when she was 15 by the lady that was studying with her, who was the elder's wife. Of course, nothing was done, and my mother was threatened to not go to the authorities, or that it could be bad for us because it would drag Jehovah's name in the dirt. My mother has been a witness all her life, was raised in it, and now she has nothing more to do with it. She still has to take care of my grandparents and her parents because they are elderly, and there's constant arguing because her father believes that this is the one true religion and that we will all die.
Wow. Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for sharing your story. My goodness. My goodness. A lot of stories here. All right, this is Esther, the one we just put in the nail in the coffin. My dearest Mikey and Kim, I love you both so much. You have no idea how much you have helped me and the other XJWs in my local community. A big thank you to you both for all you continue to do in a truly life-saving work. I don't know about life-saving, but we do try our best.
Freedom. We're fighting for freedom.
Also, congrats to Shyla graduating. I'm so happy to see her have the life she deserves in spite of Watchtower. I often think about the Mira family and hope they are okay. I'm sending lots of love to them too. I'm well acquainted with Elder Wiseman's parents and family, as I was once in the same congregation and close friends with these vile people.
Oh, wow.
Now, she's talking, for those of you new ones, she's talking about Trevor Wiseman, the elder that promised the Mira family in Rio Rancho that they would not block Jim's view.
Yeah. Jim is, yeah.
You can go to our YouTube channel and click on videos, and then up in the little search box, just do Rio Rancho. And there's actually a playlist with all of those.
Yeah.
I shudder as I think back. Trevor comes from a herd of sociopathic JW ex-Bethelite bullies who have left a pile of casualties in their wake. Thanks again for exposing this evil corporation. Please put a nail in the coffin lid for me. I finally plucked up the courage to divorce my emotionally and physically abusive JW spouse and started fading in 2014-2015 and now receive dirty looks when people from my congregation see me out and about. I still live with a cloud of fear over my head as the elders have been harassing me and hunting me down like prey, but you guys have provided a vital support system for me. I am comfortable with you stating my first name, Esther. Thank you, Esther.
Thank you
so
for the story.
much.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wow, it's just, and it's also interesting to have a little bit more insight into Trevor Wiseman, too, and what this man is really, really like.
Yeah.
From people that knew him in the past. Hey, nothing's changed.
Yep. Okay, Brandon has given us permission to share his story. He was the one that was in the Old Timers. He's a third-generation witness. Life growing up was rough, as his father, who became a witness after meeting my mother, was your typical over-controlling witness family leader. My mother, who has severe mental problems, as many people in my family do, always seemed down, miserable, and was also controlling. As much as they tried to control my life, they completely missed that my friend, who was several years older than me and also a witness, had been molesting me for over a year. Several years later, I finally came forward with what happened and told my mother. You see, as a witness child, the only thing I was ever told about a boy that was with another boy was that they ended up with AIDS. So for several years, I lived my childhood thinking that I was going to die. The severe torture I put myself through got to be too much. My parents, of course, went to the elders, who, of course, said to leave it in Jehovah's hands and stressed keeping it a secret.
Yep.
And I believe, my humble opinion, that this is why they have to stick with the two-witness rule. Because if you come to them, if they don't keep that two-witness rule, then they would probably have to go to the police, and they don't want to do that.
Well, but the thing is, see, Watchtower, the grave mistake you're making is that in the YouTube community, your secrets are being made public.
Yeah.
And you're being mocked. You guys are being made fools of. Well, hey, you are fools. You men are very, very foolish in doubling down on this. It's ruined your reputation. See, you guys' reputation is never, ever going to be, well, it never was up to par, because inside the Kingdom Hall and secretly that reputation was already ruined and your elders knew it.
Well, there's no coming back from this.
No.
There's no coming back from this.
None at all.
I watched my offender go unpunished as long as we lived there. My sister began fooling around with my best friend at a young age, and my mother tried covering it up. It's like my mother felt so robbed of her own childhood as a witness that married young, and so she lived vicariously through my sister. That too eventually came to light, and we moved to a state where they could sign for her to legally marry then my best friend at the age of 14.
Wow.
Everything important to my parents was always about my sister, and so by the age 17 I felt unwanted by my family and began a rebellious phase. I was quickly caught, disfellowshipped, and thrown out of the house for the first time. I fell on my butt fast as I knew nothing about supporting myself. I had to move back home under the circumstance of being reinstated. I did this, and even after reinstatement was mistreated by the congregation. Within a year I was disfellowshipped again. This time I had planned and saved enough money to support myself and never go back. Awesome. Yeah. It was still very rough. I would go to a friend's house, and when they went to the bathroom, I would steal pieces of bread and eat them fast before they came back in the room. I spent a winter in an old trailer without heat and stayed sick and cold. I went to bed many nights not eating anything at all that day. It took many years until I didn't fully believe I was going to be destroyed. Even then, it's always been hard to live a normal life. All I knew about living outside the JWs was that you did whatever you had to do to survive. I had lost my entire family and had very few friends. It wasn't real living. Fast forward 18 years or so, and I am a salaried manager at a big retailer and married to someone that listens to my complaint about JWs and helps me through the pain. I have 3 beautiful small children that I love more than life itself. My parents have nothing at all to do with their grandchildren, of course.
Wow.
And then he goes into the problem about, being happy, and also about, do you think the governing body believes this themselves? No, I don't think they're deceived one bit. No. I think they're fully aware of what they are and what they do, and I think they just don't care.
Yeah, they absolutely don't care.
Yeah. Sorry for the long message, and I love you guys, and Mike, I love your rants. You can share my story if you want, and if not, I know you get a lot of emails. Thanks for everything, and please mention me in the old timers.
Done, brother, done. Our privilege.
Our privilege. Now this is someone that I had contacted like months ago, and we had emailed back and forth, but I was waiting to get their names or initials. It says, sorry we just missed your last nail in coffin, but here's one for next time. Please put 3 purple pins if you can count me and my husband's 2-year-old. There was no way we could raise our daughter in this cult-like environment. We mailed in our DA letters last week and were officially announced Tuesday. We have accepted Jesus as our Lord and Savior instead of an organization. Can't wait to put up our first Christmas tree this year. We hope this organization will be brought down soon as it is hurting so many people. Thank you guys for your activism.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Enjoy this season as it was meant to be with your family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because we mentioned celebrating Christmas in one of our videos a couple of weeks ago, we've gotten a few emails that tell us to do our research, that it's a pagan holiday. And I just want to mention John 10:22. We're going to call it Hanukkah then.
Yeah.
Because Jesus and his disciples celebrated Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is Julian and their family of, was it 11?
11.
11, yeah. Dear Kim and company.
What? Company? Kim and company? Hey now! I guess I'm just reduced to company.
I'm the CEO. Okay. You're just a flunky.
Yeah, that's okay, guys.
That's funny. I love that. Many thanks for your email. Don't worry for the time taken to reply. I know at the moment you're so busy, especially with the Watchtower trying to shut you down. That's how long it's been since it took me to answer him. I hope you guys do okay. As your previous emails requested names for the nail in coffin, please find and enclose a list of people that have exited since last year when I woke up and sent my mother the clip from the Royal Commission. We are close to the whole area as your witness no more's previous video clips. My boys are out and enjoying life. My wife is half asleep. There's still hope. Thank you for your work. Love you. So those were the orange pins that we did kind of over by the whole area.
Kim and company. Wow,
that's funny.
Okay, I know.
I
see the humor too. Trust me.
Funny.
Yeah, I really do have a good sense of humor.
Yeah. Okay. Just finished watching your latest nail and coffin video. The last story was heartbreaking to listen to. This cult has destroyed so many lives. I am disfellowshipped and my mother shuns me. It took me years to finally realize that this religion is false. The work you both do, Kim and Mike, is priceless. I love listening to you, and you're so right. I laugh with you and I cry with you. We all thought we had the greatest gift of all, being in the truth. But the greatest gift we do have is the happiness we have in our hearts when we realize we are free of this organization.
Yep. Freedom.
Thank you both again for the great work you do. And we got many similar emails,
man.
and I just grabbed one that we could read. So thank you everybody so much for your love and support and your thanks, because we couldn't do this without you.
And keep in mind, for the XJW YouTube community, the vast apostate army, we are absolutely having an effect. Trust me. We are having an effect. We are hurting Watchtowers so bad. It's just unbelievable. The good goals, the things that we are accomplishing. But ultimately, these friends, they're finding their freedom just like we've all found our freedom. And isn't freedom beautiful? It truly is.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is our last one, isn't it?
I believe so. And this is from Melinda. I love you both. Your channel is what was the nail in coffin for me. I was baptized only so I could get my driver's license.
Yeah, we know. They had a whole assembly program dedicated on withholding your driver's license until you get baptized. Yeah.
Just so they could get the numbers. But then, the poor teenagers that get baptized just to get their driver's license, they suffer later.
They suffer later.
Because they are usually disfellowshipped or disassociated or walk away, and then they're shunned. So this is a horrible thing. I was baptized, I remember girls from Popular Clique coming up to me and pretending to be happy for me. I always felt like it was not the truth, and for a while I didn't believe in God. I moved out of my parents' house at 18 and stopped going to meetings. My mother would call me all the time, yelling at me when she didn't see me. In 2010, my grandpa died and this shattered me. Luckily, he was a Catholic, and I was allowed to go to his funeral. Shortly after this, I got pregnant with my daughter and had to move back in with my parents. At first, they were kind, and I was allowed to miss some meetings, but when I decided I needed to get an education to support my daughter, and my parents were angry. I remember after I was disfellowshipped, my parents' oldest son and his wife were talking bad about me to multiple people. My parents defended both of them, saying it was true. This angered me so much at this time. My parents didn't know that their son had molested me until the day he got married. I was miserable the 2 years I lived there. I finally moved to an apartment and stopped going to the meetings again. I was still not happy though. I ended up in an abusive relationship that I hid from my parents. My husband is the one who got me out of the relationship. At the time, he was my then boyfriend's best friend, but couldn't stand the abuse I went through. My husband has been my greatest support in everything. We had a son a year later, 2016. In July of this year, I finally let my mother know what her oldest son had done, and her response was that I made it all up in my head, and I need to go back to meetings, that I have mental problems.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how, these witnesses and the apologists try to shut down the, abuse victims.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the thing is Jehovah's Witnesses do not want to face the realities of what has really happened when things like this are exposed, because really, no parent wants to believe that their child is a rapist, an abuser of another human being, so they just make themselves feel real comfortable, warm and fuzzy by saying, oh, you're lying, you made all this up. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Since that fight, I have not talked to her unless necessary, and she actually talks to my pagan husband more than me. A few days after this, I was on YouTube and found one of your videos. I remember my heart pounding the first time I watched your video. Now it is a daily thing. I recently found out that my mother and her biological dad have been talking to my daughter about baptism. She is only 6. I have started to let her listen to the videos as well and talking with her about TAT. I have also gotten back in contact with my brother that left and joined the military. I missed him so much. I am so glad that I clicked on your video and that it was the final thing I needed to wake up. Thank you so much. Could you share your mailing address? I want to supply M&Ms for Mike. He's got enough M&Ms right now.
Yeah, I do.
So thank you so much. We do appreciate the offer.
Yes, you guys' love and generosity in sending us M&Ms it's beyond belief. And
we're good on
M&Ms.
M&Ms right now because somebody sent us about 6 pounds. So we're good on M&Ms.
We're good on M&Ms for a while, and it's just really incredible how responsive this XJW community has become in supplying, the M&M, the addiction that lasts a lifetime, because this whole M&M thing just started out as just a little joke between Kim and I, and has blossomed into something that's like, wow, how in the world did this ever happen? Mikey and his M&M rant. So thank you guys so much for your responding to just a corny, quirky little joke between Kim and I.
I'm sorry for the long, choppy story. I just watched your video today and it touched my heart with my brother and husband being in the military. Please add a pin for me, any color, and use my entire name as a big F you to Watchtower. I apologize for the language. Also, please add my brother and his family. There's no need to apologize.
No need to apologize. We all feel the same way.
Yeah, exactly. And several say, oh, the angry and bitter, aggressive activists and the apostates. And it's like, no. No, it's not anger. There may be some anger, but I mean, don't you think we're all entitled to a little bit of anger?
Well, when you've been an abuse victim by a sibling, when you've been an abuse victim by an uncle, a stepdad, elders, we have every right in the world to be angry and express that anger back at this organization. And it's working, because more and more and more of you current Jehovah's Witnesses are finding the courage to click on that apostate video, because you are on the path to your freedom. And that's what counts, is freedom from this cult that has taken so many lives, has destroyed so many lives, destroyed so many families.
Yeah. And I just want to mention that I watched a video yesterday, and I'm not going to give the title or the person's YouTube channel, because I don't want them to get any more views than what they've already got, because it broke my heart, because they were at the Warwick protest and they were talking against it. And talking about these women who had been abused, who spoke up in the Kingdom Hall. And, this is bad, because it's shutting the voice up of these victims. Where are these victims supposed to go and, let the brothers and sisters know that they were abused? And I just want to mention, Dallas, Canada has put up a short video that he noticed something when Rebecca, Spoon-Fed No More, I believe, was the one that stood up and talked about her being raped and her being disfellowshipped because she had been raped. And he's showing two sisters sitting towards the front there. And the one is very uncomfortable, looks visibly upset, and then grabs her friend's hand. So I have to ask, was this sister raped also, and this touched a nerve?
Yeah, and if that's the case, we certainly hope that that sister will find the courage to investigate what was being said inside that Kingdom Hall. And if she ends up waking up and finding her freedom, then that crashing that Kingdom Hall was well worth it, wasn't it? You know what? The next time you friends read an article where a Jehovah's Witness died because of refusing blood, or maybe was raped and murdered in a Kingdom Hall somewhere in South America, think twice about shutting down our voices. Think twice about that, because when you work to shut down our voices, you actually align yourself with Watchtower. You make yourself a Watchtower apologist. And make no mistake about it, that will be talked about, that will be discussed, and others will be warned to stay away from you because you're an apologist. The growing number in the vast apostate army wants those apologists pointed out and let everybody know that there are Watchtower agents even within this XJW community, and you can readily identify them because they're the naysayers and they're the ones that want our voices shut up.
And I talk to abuse victims almost every day, probably several a day, And so I get angry, I get upset, I get hurt, I cry along with these victims. And so for someone to, bash these dear sisters who had the bravery and the guts to stand up. And Neil, the great apostate, he did a video about this, and I could just see the hurt in his face.
Yeah, I could, Neil.
And it broke my heart, Neil, to see the pain in your face that someone in the XJW community would actually call the authorities on the Warwick group. Just broke my heart. And Mike did a video, or we did a video last week, and Mike says, I'm going to talk to you as a father. Well, I'm going to talk to you guys as a mother. To go on Twitter and on YouTube and say that these victims shouldn't be storming a Kingdom Hall and speaking up. No, that's wrong. Just like Watchtower, trying to shut the victims up. And I'm a victim advocate, just like Alexander James of jwvictims.org. We work our backsides off trying to help these victims, trying to get them help. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that, you viewers have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. Trying to get them to talk to lawyers, trying to get them to, call the authorities, trying to get them counseling, and help. And if nothing else, just to be there as a friend.
Yeah.
So for someone to call the authorities to try to shut these, protesters up, it goes against everything this XJW community is about. And it's about love and support for the victims.
Yeah. It is.
So, that's all I have to say about that.
So, guys, welcome to
it.
your freedom. Thank you for listening. Take everything we say with deep concern. Because when you work to shut the victims up, you are making yourselves Watchtower agents and apologists. Now, whether you do this consciously or unconsciously, the end result is you're still a Watchtower apologist.
Well, these are the same ones that have been preaching, these aggressive and regressive protesters and activists, it's a bad thing. And they're bashing all of us for being aggressive and regressive activists. Well, isn't calling the authorities on us, isn't that being aggressive yourself?
Oh, they just don't see the logic in it, do they?
Wow. So,
all right, thanks for watching.
Thank you for sticking with us. We know this was a long one, but we had a lot of stuff to cover.
And just to kind of give everybody another view.
My goodness.
This is a representation of freedom.
Exactly. And Mikey will be doing a larger coffin lid. Well, actually, someone promised to make a coffin lid for us. So we told him, make it bigger.
Yeah.
Make it bigger, like double the size.
Yeah, because we expect a whole lot more next year.
Well, 191% again for this one, and I hope for next year 200%.
200 plus.
So keep it all coming, guys. We appreciate it, and we appreciate your patience in waiting for me to reply. But we love you all.
Yes. Welcome to your freedom. Welcome to our brand of insanity and our shock and mock.
Aggressive shock.
Aggressive shock and mock. We love you all. Enjoy what's left of the weekend and have a great week ahead. If you work, have a good week at work. And if you're a stay-at-home person, enjoy your freedom.
Yes, exactly. We love you all.
Bye.
Bye.